It's long-term what? Okay, let's get started. You know how Alan from The Hangover cracked the code on blackjack with his card counting skills? Well, that's basically what we're doing here today with long-term care odds. You'll understand who will need it, why, and for how long. But before I continue, here's a warning. If you don't like numbers or stats, this might get super boring. So if you feel bored, try thinking about cute little kittens. Aren't they cute? There's a 52.3% chance they'll bop noses. Now, before we get into the numbers, let's talk about why averages can be kind of misleading. Two people walk into a bar, Bill Gates and Mike. Bill's financial worth is $2 billion. Mike's is 0. On average, their net worth is $1 billion. And Mike is thinking to himself, where's my billion in the checking account? There's a saying in statistics, if your head is in the oven and your feet are in the freezer, on average, you feel just fine. Averages are more relevant to populations than to individuals. Although the odds of me having blue eyes are only 9%, I have blue eyes. I'm 100% sure. Ultimately, only your result matters to you. Averages aren't bad, they're just a starting point for making decisions. Consider your unique family history and finances most as you plan. So, what are your odds of aging? Well, they're basically 100% unless you're Tom Cruise, who seems to have found some loophole. This stat matters because almost everyone ages, and with aging comes the real possibility of needing long-term care. Let's talk about lifetime risk. A large study found that for those over 65 years old, the chance that they need long-term care was 70%. That's a big number. It's about the same as the percentage of U.S. adults who have kids. So if you know parents, you probably know someone who will need long-term care. If you have a partner, the odds that one of you will need care jumps to 90%. And if your parents are still living, you may be asked to take on the role of their caregiver. Bottom line, someone you know, maybe even you, will be affected by long-term care. The question isn't if, it's just when and for how long. So what about people under 65 needing long-term care? Well, a study found that 37% of people getting long-term care are actually under 65. 37%. I personally didn't expect this. So why? Chronic conditions like MS or a stroke or injuries from a car accident, sports or work. Here's a clip from David, who suffered a work injury.
My name is David Whitman. I'm 61 years old, and my back issue started at work, a work accident, and it impacts every area of your life.
So why does this under 65 stat matter? Well, you can't buy long-term care insurance if you already need care. So getting it early allows you to start benefits at any age when you qualify, improves your chances of approval, and even lowers your costs. So how much care is paid versus unpaid? Well, it depends on where care is happening. For all care, 31% is unpaid. But for just home care, 80% is unpaid. So why does this matter? Well, because care is expensive and families often step in, and that can mean huge emotional and financial stress for them. Okay, that's been a lot of stats. Let's take a short break. How long will you need care? Well, the average is about 3 years, but this average doesn't tell the whole story. Gender is a big factor. Women average 3.7 years of care and men only need 2.2. Why? Women typically live longer. Let's dig even deeper into these averages. Most people need care for just a few years. The longer you go, the fewer people still need it, except at the 8-year mark. Then more people need care. It's weird, right? So why? Alzheimer's. Individuals with Alzheimer's often need 8 to 10 years of memory care, with some needing care up to 20. Consider this risk when planning for care. Finally, let's talk about length by care setting. These stats are hard to pin down, but the average time spent for in-home care is under 4 years, assisted living around 2 years, nursing home under 4 years, memory care 8 to 10, and hospice about 6 months. In summary, a high percentage of people will need care. Some will need a little, while others will require a lot. Use these odds to guide your planning, but remember, the real win, like Alan's card counting, comes from making decisions based on your personal traits. I'm Jesse, and this is Long-Term What? Where we make long-term care unboring. If this helped, share it with someone who needs it, your kids, spouse, parents, or friends. Like it so more people see it, and subscribe for more unboring long-term care tips. Watch our next video or podcast, or visit longtermwhat.com. Thanks.